For my love.
Hello my lovelies, it's your girl Essence back with another video. We're gonna try to make this short, not too long. At first I was gonna do some makeup because I miss playing in makeup. I recently bought some setting powder. The powder definitely gives my skin tone, so I don't know if it will look good. I don't know, I might mix it with the other setting powder that I got from like years ago. So we'll see how that works out when I do it, if I do it. I got my jazz playlist going on. Who we got? Oh, Teddy. Okay, Teddy in the grass. You know, Stephanie Mills, her voice is beautiful too. But yeah, hopefully I won't be copyrighted. If y'all hear that, hopefully y'all don't hear that. I hear it though. So hopefully it won't be too distracting. So instead of doing makeup, I'm gonna do a skincare routine. Not even a skincare. I'm just gonna do. It's just a spa day today. Been working, exhausted, tired. That time of month had me going through it. It's just a lot. Let's just hope and pray, fingers crossed, that I won't get a headache today. I was just constantly having headaches, so yeah, I'm just gonna do some skincare. It ain't really a routine, you don't really gotta follow it. I just need a spa day. I just really need it because I'm just really over it. So let me put this candle on. Okay. I actually did that. That didn't come like that. I did that myself. I wanted the candles layered because I still had leftover candle wax, and I didn't want to buy any more candles because that would be a waste of all the candle wax that I have left. Like I had like about 6-7 jars of candles with just leftover candle wax. So I did it myself, so I would have less candle jars littered all over my room, and I could still use the wax that's still left. Isn't that smart? So yeah, we're gonna burn this. Come on, girl. Feel the fire. Just how Stephanie said it. Feel the fire. Okay, so let me go and do that. Feel the fire. I have a really diverse taste of music, and anything with some jazz, soul, neo soul, old school R&B. That's what it is. That's what I'm feeling today. I wasn't feeling any Christian rap today. Wasn't feeling Nicki Minaj today. I'm just chilling. So let's get this started. For this video, we're going to be talking about the spirit of vanity and a little bit of modesty. Simply because I am doing my face, I'm doing skincare, and why not? Let's talk about it, right? I see a lot of popularity within the Christian space where they talk about modesty, and I guess it's just like this back and forth between the girls who aren't modest and the girls who are on TikTok. They beefing. Apparently the girls who feel like upset or hurt that women want to dress in clothes that cover most of their skin, they feel some type of way. They feel like the girls think they're better than them because they don't show that much skin. And it's like, girl, what does that have to do with anything about you? I know for me, I don't dress any kind of way for the female gaze or the male gaze. I do it because I want to. So now that the glasses are off, it's a tad bit blurry, but we're gonna make it through. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about in terms of vanity. So what we're gonna start with? My Korean skincare. How do you pronounce that? I pronounce it Anua. Maybe people pronounce it Anua. Anu. I don't know, but I like it. I love it. Beautiful. It does wonders for my skin. So that's what we're gonna do. So give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I washed my face. I washed it because one, I had already had product in it from this morning. And since it's a spa day, I just really want to do a good cleansing. I'm so sorry if I sound like so low vibrational, but I'm thinking while I'm speaking, so give me a minute. So yeah, I cleaned my face, squeaky clean, and let's get to the next part. Okay, so right with my Korean skincare, I use this. This is a toner, soothing toner. It's very gentle, not harsh, just to even out my skin. So let's do that. So while I'm doing that, let's talk about vanity, right? There's a couple scriptures that I have written down that speaks about vanity. If you don't know what vanity is, it pretty much, in the Hebrew text, it's pronounced hevel, but obviously I'm not a native speaker of Hebrew, so I can't necessarily speak it, but that's pretty much what it translates in Hebrew is hevel, and it means meaningless, emptiness, breath, vapor, steam. So that's what that means. Vanity pretty much brings a sense of pride, jealousy, envy, what else? Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. Or you're just being very self-absorbed, very self-centered. Gotta get those ears too, girl. So that's what pretty much vanity is. And that coincides with what Christians deal with and why most of them want to be modest. And I have my own reasons of modesty. And I will explain that right after I get through these scriptures. John Coltrane, everybody. So let's talk about it. Right. So what are some lessons that we can learn in terms of vanity? One of the lessons is in the beginning of Genesis. We see pretty much Adam and Eve sinning, right? Eve falls into the manipulation of the serpent, questioning and doubting God and his instructions. And Adam is just peeping game. Like, let me tell you, when you read that book, people are like, oh, well, where Adam at? Where Adam at? He's right there. While the serpent and Eve is having a conversation. He ain't leaving that woman. He named her woman. He's not leaving her. So wherever she went, he was following her. Wherever he went, she was following him. So during this whole conversation between the serpent and Eve, Adam is right there being passive with his masculinity and not checking the serpent, and also not removing his woman away from the situation. So yes, Adam also played a part in the fall of man when it came to Eve taking the forbidden fruit and giving it to him. So I just want us to kind of like debunk that nonsense. Like, oh, it's just Eve. Eve did all this. Forget Eve. No, Adam also played a part too. So let's not just put the blame on women. It says the fall of man for a reason. Get it? Okay. So yeah, God cursed them and all that he had pretty much made. And this is in Genesis chapter 3, verse 17 to 19. And I got my Bible with I put tabs on it. When I bought the Bible, it didn't have tabs. And I was a little like upset. But I was like, it's okay, because I'm gonna get my little tabs. So I finally finished it today. I might do an ASMR and just like listen. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I really like the sound. It's like, I don't know. It's nice. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So I said what? 17 to 19. It says, to Adam, he said, because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life. Let's continue. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. So that's pretty much what that is talking about. So perfection in the world that God had created is completely lost. In Romans chapter 8, verse 20, it says, all creation was subjected to the vanity because of God's curse. So pretty much all creation has fallen short of its original purpose, its perfection. And so that kind of plays in the sense of vanity, because we still deal with the effects of that curse today. We still deal with sin, even though people say, well, this decade was when, the world was so peaceful and great, and America was once great at one time. It's like the people are still sinning, so it was never great. It never was great. The only time the world was ever great was before Genesis chapter 3. I mean, like, girl. And that was the beginning, so we already kind of like messed up right before we can even really enjoy the perfection that God has created. Eve and Adam messed it up for all of us. So there was really never a time that it was great that we could really remember and recollect. You feel me? So yeah, it's just a curse that we deal with today, tomorrow, and forevermore. Rather than working in the harmony of God when it comes to his creations, there's chaos and insanity of the world due to God subjecting creation to vanity. That is Romans chapter 8, verse 21. So let's go to the Romans. I'm so happy I got these tabs on here. So Romans chapter 8. Chapter, where's your chapter? Chapter 8, 21. You don't know? Okay. So it says that the creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God. So yes, it will be absolute chaos and insanity until God decides, hey, I will break you free from it. And that pretty much coincides with Judgment Day. So that's what's being told here. So another lesson will be in the First Samuel's, right? So before we get into that, let's get to the next one. Okay, so now I use my toner. I'm not sure, do I want to use this? It's pretty much BHA, AHA serum, just to help clear up any acne scars and blemishes. It's either that or I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I was either deciding to do that or this, my clay mask. that I made myself. So don't even like, I mean, you could buy that. But after it ran out, I made my own clay mask within the same jar. So don't ask me what concoction I made. I don't know. But it's something. And I'm gonna use it. So I think what I'm gonna do is, it is what it is. So let me get my mirror. And let's just do a couple drops. Oh my gosh, I just thought of that. Not me having all these pimples. I think I'll pop them after I do this, because if I pop them now and I put this on, it's gonna burn like I don't know what. And this for sure gonna leave scars. So we're not gonna do that. So let's just kind of swish it around where all my blemishes usually are. I do have moles and a little freckles. Fun fact, oh wait, I don't even know if I should tell y'all this. Well, just know I don't have freckles all on my face. I have freckles somewhere else. For the ones who know, you know. But yeah. Okay. A little bit of that on top. Just kind of wish it around. Just add. I might just fast forward all this. So let's do the next lesson of Vanity. We have King Saul in the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel. And this pretty much is the king that has been appointed by God or blessed by God to be the ruler of the nation of Israel, right? So King Saul let pride and vanity rule over his life and ultimately destroy him. He was handsome, he was gifted, and he was chosen by God, girl. Who wouldn't want a piece of that, right? And he pretty much ruled over the nation of Israel. Saul allowed his pride to take shape and pretty much led him to believe he was too important to listen to God's commands and his instructions. So God removed his blessing and spirit from Saul, and now Saul has to be plagued with murder and discord and chaos and envy and jealousy for the remainder of his reign until prophet Samuel, listens to God's word and finds the next king of Israel, and it just so happens to be David, and he becomes king. So that's pretty much another lesson that we should all take from it, right? So let's go to one of the scriptures from 1 Samuel. So let's go. It's chapter 16. What's there? Verse 7. So let's say, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. So for you to be a chosen one or to be anointed by the Heavenly Father, God looks at the heart. And that's why I always say, like, check your heart posture, because how you treat people and how you try to preach gospels or be Christian and your actions in behind closed doors don't really match up to the things that you're preaching. You gotta check the heart posture and make sure it aligns with God's word. That's one. And also align with how you're presenting yourself to the world that is full of sin. Because trust me, they're going to try to check you and make it seem like, oh, you can't be this, you can't be that, the way that you proclaim to be, because your actions say otherwise. And Christians who are very by the book, you know, like, we don't straddle the fence, we in it. Them type of Christians will check you too. So it's either you all in or you all out. Simple as that. So being a Christian and, you know, being, you know, a Bible girly, you know, in her little Proverbs 31 era, it's not an aesthetic, it's real life. And it shouldn't be something that people would want to fall into. I think it kind of reminds me a little bit of the femininity movement, and I was definitely a part of that. And that movement died really quick, because People True Colors came out. But I still believe some of it, but most of it does come a place of vanity and self-centeredness, very hyper independent. So that's why I don't really subscribe too much on it, but I still kind of believe some of it that the movement was talking about, because it's like with the world, they try to almost mimic the things that are in the Bible and then try to twist it into their own narrative, where they can kind of play on, oh, well, you know, we do this, but it's a little different from others and all that stuff. So that is one part of where God talks about he looks at the heart and not the outward appearance. And as women who follow Christ, who are either new to it, to the faith, or very devoted to it, and they've been doing this for X amount of years, we have our own reasons for being modest and being a part of modesty, if that makes sense, or the modesty movement or whatever. And that's just because we may not really like the spirit of vanity, that spirit of pride. Pride really took root in the beginning of time in the heavens, with the Satan. And actually, this Bible has a definition section. So let's go to it, because I'm sure that Satan, which means the adversary, is in here, but if not, then we can go to adversary. So let's go to the definitions. Almost there. Right here. So the Satan is the devil, the leader of the fallen spirits or the fallen angels, because in heaven, Satan took at least 1/3 of the sons of God, which are the angels, the messengers. He took them and they all fell. So he's the most powerful enemy of God and humans. And then adversary. Let's go to there with the definition for adversary. Okay, so adversary, it means enemy or opponent. So even though we can think they're the same, they are a little different. That's why some people be like wondering, is the serpent in Genesis and the Satan in the book of Job the same person, or like the same spirit, the same angel, or they're two different situations here? And I think they could be two different adversaries happening in two different times. But that's just me. I'm not gonna further talk about it, because we are talking about the spirit of vanity and not whether the serpent in Genesis is Satan or the devil, or if he's just a completely different adversary, a different enemy at a different time or moment in time. So yeah. So let's go to some other scriptures that I wrote down for the spirit of vanity, because, right, this is God's truth. And we're going to put scripture to pretty much show you that the spirit of vanity is real. And when you're living of the world, I guess you can say when you're living of the world full of sin, you can be kind of overwhelmed and taken with that spirit of being self-absorbed, self-centered, very prideful, whether it can be within your clothes, within your talents, connections to people, whatever the case may be, or even like being able to get some fast money. So let's go to that. Psalms 119 verse 37. Okay. So it says, turn my eyes away from worthless things. Preserve my life according to your word. So remember when I said vanity means emptiness, meaningless, breath, vapor. That's what it's pretty much saying, that that is worthless. Vanity is worthless. Keep my eyes away from vanity, things that are worthless, things that are meaningless, things that will leave me empty. So that's another part in the Bible that talks about vanity. We can also go to Ecclesiastes. Let's see. Okay, because I wrote this down, and I couldn't do these videos without writing it down, because trying to go off the dome with it, I'm like, girl, it's just not gonna work. So yeah, Proverbs 31. And if you girlies know that the month of October we're doing a Proverbs 31 challenge. I missed yesterday, so I'm definitely going to do chapter 5 and 6 in Proverbs. So that's what we're doing. Let's go to 31. Oh. Girl. I was like, I know I ain't mess up my tabs like that. So, 31 to 30, it says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Amen. So pretty much talking about, Proverbs 31 talks about what women should pretty much exude and exemplify and pretty much mimic and mirror. And we should be women who fear God, and not women who use their charm and beauty to be manipulative and deceptive. I think Jezebel did that. Jezebel is mentioned in 1 Kings. I was going to read 1 Kings, but I thought about it, and I was like, this is really dark. This is really dark. I don't know if I'm ready for this. This is really dark. So yeah. And then Delilah, who... I'm gonna try to see if I can get this right. It's the one that was messing around with Samson and was constantly trying to see what his secret was to being pretty much so strong, and revealed that, had him reveal it, and got him tortured or exiled or killed or something like that. So definitely watch out for women who have that Delilah spirit or in Jezebel spirits. Because they're going to use their beauty and charm to be deceptive and evil and pretty much try to get you caught up in things that you don't need to be doing, either dead or locked up or locked in with them through a baby. So don't do that. And that goes for the women and men. Feel me? So yeah. And then Ecclesiastes, if I'm right, is Ecclesiastes? So it's chapter 5, verse 10. It says, whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless, right? Meaningless means vanity, or that's pretty much the meaning of vanity in the Hebrew term hevel. So if you really love money, it's never going to be enough for you. Trying to be wealthy, you're never going to feel satisfied with that income. You're going to want more and more and more and more. And that comes from a spirit of greed. Okay? So, these are just some of the scriptures that talks about vanity. So, let me go wash this off my face. So, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I washed that serum off my face. Pat dried it. Next, we're going to do, I feel like what I should do is the acne treatment. It's just an acne cream thing. It's, what is it called? Benzoyl peroxide. It's 10%. Brother to the night. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just one, because there are pimples on my face. You feel me? And I'm getting tired of it. It's getting tired. Getting tired. Okay. So we're gonna see if I can try to squeeze that out, but I doubt that it's ready. What Darius LaFall said. Come on, Slim. I ain't worried about him. Like, you're not worried about who? Oh, you like that, huh? Anyway. Now that we got the biblical text out the way about the spirit of vanity, well, let's talk about me real quick. Let's talk about me while I put this mask on my face. It's like kind of runny. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was not expecting it to explode. Y'all give me a second. So I'm back. Don't ask me what I made in that concoction, but I mean, I should have expected it to bubble up a little bit. But I just wasn't expecting that explosion to happen, you know? I just wasn't expecting it. So right, where was I at? I said I was going to talk about me. So the reason why I wanted to talk about the spirit of vanity and modesty is because I think it's very important when you have allowed God to transform your life, and the things that you once have done before in the world of sin, and the things that you have identified that are sin, really changes your perspective on how you see yourself rather than how the world sees you. I mean, obviously how the world sees you, but more so how you see yourself and how God sees you. And ever since 2023, obviously that was the start of me wanting to acknowledge God and just, okay, you know, let me do more prayer and let me read the Bible for myself so I can just kind of get a grasp of it. And that's what I did. You know, so in the year of 2024, I was definitely in that Job season, and yes, I will still be doing that Bible study of the book of Job. I just wasn't anticipating that I was still in it when I did it. So, yeah, hopefully y'all did the reading on your own without my help. But I will still do it. I mean, I got the thumbnails ready and everything. I just wasn't anticipating it, that I was still in it, like I had thought I was out of it, you know, because it was supposed to be a season. So that's pretty much what had happened with that. So I definitely, no, what is it? Okay, I thought that was a piece of hair. I don't think so. No. Alright. So, the reason for my vanity was because growing up, we weren't wealthy or anything. I mean, we were pretty poor. I mean, like, poor middle class. Okay? There's levels to this, okay? And we just didn't have the money to get like name brand things. So I will always get like off-brand anything. When it came to like sneakers, we would only get like one pair of sneakers a year. And that was just because my dad had obligations to the court to cough up a certain amount of money. So that also played a part of it. And my mom not having a job because she left her job to, you know, follow her husband and where his work was at. And I do believe that. For any wife or anybody who's legally bound to a person, well, I shouldn't say legally bound, that sounds terrible, but but pretty much like if you're legally tied to somebody and that is your husband or that is your wife, or just say that's your husband, I just believe that as the wife, you should follow the husband. Wherever his work is at, you should be going. And that's just what I believe. You don't have to agree. I mean, everyone's different, but I guess I would say I'm more moderate conservative, because I do understand where some conservatives kind of be saying, because it's really simple. Life is just simple when God is involved. But when you got the people who are really extremely liberal, it just gives chaos, insanity, and just all around insane, like just crazy. It just seems so out of order. There's no order, there's no structure, and I just don't want that, because I already lived my life like that. I lived my life orderless, with no structure, just kind of what they say, YOLO. You know, you only live once, so just do it. And yeah, that's the reason why we're pretty much where it started. So when COVID happened and I was going to, I was like, who was that? When I was going to college, they gave me the money back. So, girl, I ain't never had that much money in my life. So you know what I did? Absolutely, I splurged on clothes and everything, because I felt like that's where my worth was at in my appearance, and especially as a woman. Of course, it's gonna make it feel like that's where your worth lies, is in your appearance, whether it's in your face or your clothes or whatever else. Like, no one really cares too much about your intelligence like that. I mean, as long as you know your 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, you're gonna be fine. So yeah, and so that's what I did. I splurged on the money generously, not like blew it all, but I mean, it lasted me 4 years in college. I made that money stretch. But I didn't waste it on name brand things or luxury. I could have cared less. And I think that's the beauty of that type of humbleness when you're coming up as a child, not having all these things that the other kids have. It makes you appreciate the things that you do have. So when I did have the money, I wasn't going to try to splurge on some Jordans or some Nike or some Chanel, the girls with all the Telfar bags. Like, I wasn't doing all that. I just simply wasn't. I just shopped within my means, And I wanted to feel good and, let people know I'm that girl. Dudes would classify me as the cute girl. Sometimes we thought you was real stuck up. We thought you was mean. You real Hollywood. We thought you was just had an attitude. But I'm like, girl, I'm the quiet, really nice person. But my experiences as life have went on, I'm more kind than I am nice now. I can't be the nice girl anymore because that right there would make my feelings really hurt because people want to be so rude and so mean and so nasty. So I can be kind, I can be cordial, professional, but never nice. Never again. So, and plus, nice is not even in the Bible. Kindness is. So, that's one of the fruits of the Spirit, if you didn't know. Now you know. Now you know. Okay, I might switch over to a different, what you call, like a spatula? I don't know what you call this. I don't know. But I'm gonna switch over to the other one because it's a little bit more flexible. This is really hard plastic, and I can only go so far within the crevices. So yeah, that's what happened, and I just felt that feeling of I'm better than you. I will always be better than you. What Nikki said, she said, I'm number one. You go argue over top 4. Y'all can go argue over top 4. I'm number one. I'm staying number one, and I'm not leaving. Okay? Y'all should have had your moment to take that chance. When Kim got locked up for perjury over that Hot 97 situation. Y'all should have did it, but y'all didn't. Okay. So, yeah. That's what happened. So, by the time I decided I'm seeing the cycle that I keep finding myself in due to my own poor decisions, and it's not always spiritual warfare. Sometimes it be your own human poor decisions that can get you caught up. And that's exactly what I did, looking for love in wrong places. Oh, child, looking for love in wrong places. And it left me so empty. And so I was like, you know what, let me just give God a try, because at this point, it's not working with no dude, no nothing. And I just don't want to do it the third time, because I think if I tried to do it that time, the devil would have won. And I would not be here. So, you know what? Let's give God a try and see what he got going on over here. And I knew that there was some things, a lot of trauma and pain that I had to address that mostly stemmed from my father and other people. And I will do a testimony video. I'm just not sure when's the right time to do it. Not that I'm scared or anything, but I just don't know when's a good time to do it. Okay, is that good enough? Because I really don't want to do my upper lip, because I'm doing a lot of talking. That's just where I was at with that. And as the years went on, just really acknowledging God and going to the girls' Bible study at CCF, and connecting with other women who weren't like the people that I was either around or people that I knew. It was just a different energy, and it felt very wholesome, very positive, but also very real about our struggles as women in a world full of sin. So I decided to take it seriously. And as that went on, I felt this feeling of I just can't do it anymore with how I'm dressing. Some of the clothes I just didn't feel comfortable in. I think one of my posts from one of the Halloween weekends of 2023, one of my old friends, an ex-friend of mine, she was like, oh, you know, this one looks so hot on you. You look so sexy. And I just wasn't feeling it because it was like this itty bitty little top. Like, girl, my bitties will be showing. Like, I'm not comfortable in that. But I just kind of gave in. And obviously, no person can coerce me to do anything. You feel me? I can make my own decisions as an adult. So yeah, I'm gonna let this dry because I got my neck. It's kind of dried, but I'm gonna let it dry. So yeah. So that's where the spirit of vanity that I started to realize was a problem, because I just didn't want to conform into the world's view of sexiness and being fine, quote unquote fine, as a woman who was attractive and charming and alluring. I just didn't want it anymore. My taste in fashion has always been the same ever since high school, but I just couldn't wear the clothes because it just wouldn't make sense for my age. So I just tried to dress within my age, but I just didn't feel comfortable in it truly. But now that I'm 23 overall, I'm definitely gonna be dressing the way that I want to be dressing. Like, hello. Like, I imagine my adult life like the girls from the 2012 era with the bandage dresses, them pumps, all different type of pumps, Giuseppe heels, girl, like them fur boots. Like, I was skinny jeans. That's how I imagined my life. Them thigh-high heels, some thigh-high boots. Girl, like, them ladies were eating. Do you hear me? That's how I imagined my adult life. And I'm going to get that. But I don't want to be in a space where I feel like I'm better than anyone. And if I feel like that outfit is giving prideful, and I feel that sense of spirit of vanity, I'm not gonna do it. Now, there is an outfit that I have in my cart that, you know, why not have a little bit of fur? I like fur, but I just don't want it to come off like, oh, she's full of herself. Oh, she thinks you all that. Oh, she's giving weird, this spirit of Jezebel, maybe Delilah. And that's not how I want to present myself to anybody, because I'm not that way. So that's the reason why I decided to dress more modestly, but still of my age, and not be too revealing of skin. Not because I'm insecure about my body, because girl, I still look tea. I still look tea, but I dress not for women to please, oh, liberation, oh, feminism, oh my gosh, amongst women, it's femininity. But I also don't dress to please a man either. I don't care if I'm the cute girl, okay? As long as I, what it say? A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Doesn't matter what my appearance is, as long as you see that fruit of the spirit, and he sees God truly has my heart, and I absolutely love the Lord, because I do. Then he gonna find a good thing, and why not marry me? So it's not always about how you dress or how you look. Not all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. It's really about within that heart posture. So yeah, I'll be right back. Let me go wash this off. I'm back. First of all, there was a price of recording on my phone, and that was no storage. So I've already washed off the clay and everything. I done cleaned my ears. I put on Medicube peel off mask, girl, the whole nine. I put on the moisturizer, sunscreen, everything. And this is the end result. I said so much before all that happened about my love for jazz, the Boaz and Ruth and Boaz Netflix movie. I said a lot. maybe that'll be a different day to talk about that. But not this video. I hope you guys learned something about the spirit of vanity with biblical text and truth, and a little bit of context behind some of the scriptures that I have listed, and even a little bit of my own story about why I rather dress modestly. So yeah, I did like the whole 9. I mean, I'm about to pluck my eyebrows, but yeah. Maybe we'll just talk about things about me another day, but not today. And just, I guess what you can take away from this is don't dress for other people, whether it's for women or men. Don't try to dress for the world, and even what the world try to say that you think you're better than them because you dress modestly. Do what feels right for you, and the sins that you have to deal with, do what you got to do to flee from it, to change it, so you can continue to glorify the Lord above all. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Love you guys. Bye.
You know you wanna hold me and squeeze me.